all that stuff. Today's show I wanted to dedicate to our reporter at news anchor at CTV News here in the Maritimes, based out of Halifax, Nova Scotia. On her Facebook this morning, she wrote, "2012 is winding down. I'm looking for story ideas for our weekend shows on CTV. Send me your ideas." Well, Felicia, I wanted to answer that. I thought maybe we could just do it in a quick show today, and maybe leave you with some ideas, and we can have a conversation from there. But you know, it's kind of interesting because we're at the end of the year, and this is the time of year when we sort of evaluate our life. We evaluate where we're at. Probably more critical today than it is any other time during the year. But you know, we move into the New Year's, and then most people start to set New Year's resolutions. Well, they're evaluating their life. I want to take my life from here to here, and they use the idea of New Year's resolutions to help them move forward. You know, whether it's increased income, better health, you know, whatever it is. But we know as a fact that only 5% ever achieve their New Year's resolution. So it's one of those things that I believe that we're just fundamentally not happy with where we are. And you know, we know that even the Canadian Wellbeing Index that came out back in October said that the quality of life in Canada has deteriorated by 24% between the onset of the recession in 2008 and 2010. And there's lots of reasons that the quality of life is deteriorating. You know, the cost of living is getting higher, our income isn't growing in proportion to that, many of us are being laid off, we're having union strikes. The whole economy, everything just seems to be in a disarray right now, and everything just seems to be knotted up and tightened, and you know, and I think that people are just dissatisfied where that's at, and I think that people are in debt. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of dynamics that are going on right now. So you know, it'll be interesting to see what it is that people are setting for resolutions for this year. So I think that's a question to ask. Is, you know, what are people looking to do? What do they want to change in their life? The other part to that is, why aren't they achieving those results? Why is it only 5%? Well, there's lots of reasons behind the why, but I like to ask the question is, what's causing our quality of life to continue to deteriorate? You know, it's the economy, it's everything, but I believe that we are looking into old ways of trying to improve a new life. And, you know, I use it as an example is, you know, I've done some previous series of videos on, you know, Generation X is looking for a raise, and you know, 5-part series on that, and, you know, how to go about getting a raise from a tactical standpoint, but I also talked about why you won't be successful. I was in the corporate world for 20 plus years. I know what it takes to go to an employer and ask for a raise, but I also know the employer's side about why you're not going to get it, or most of the time you won't get what you're looking for, and it won't be significant enough to make changes in your life. You know, we're talking about financial planning, we're talking about, you know, paying off debt, we're talking about those things, but you know, that 1 to 3 or 5% salary increase is really not going to provide that significant benefit for you. You know, after taxes and inflation and higher heating costs and, you know, maintenance on your vehicle and all that kind of stuff. You know, so what I believe is what we're missing out here on is the entrepreneurship opportunity. And I truly believe, because I've lived it. You know, let me tell you my quick story here. Is I was in the corporate world. I worked for a company in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia for 16 years. I moved to Moncton into the corporate world here. With a competitor, we set up a corporate office here in Moncton and everything, you know, and then a number of years later, which was up to 2 years ago, they made a North American change, and my job became redundant. My job was redundant, so I was exited out of that industry. So I was faced with a choice as a single father raising 3 kids. I was faced with a choice of moving to Toronto to continue a career path with another company, another industry, or moving to the United States. So I wouldn't even be in the Maritimes right now. But you know what I chose? I chose entrepreneurship. I chose to continue on and become self-employed and create a whole new lifestyle. And I've created 3 businesses here in Moncton. So it's been a great life, and I've had more fun and more quality of life in the last 2 years than I have in 20 plus years in the corporate world. And I think these are the stories that really need to get out. The stories of hope, the stories of there is a better way. You don't need to go to work and grind away and hope and pray that someday it'll get better, and all of a sudden for your employer to lay you off or sell off to a competitor. The world continues to change, and I think that as an entrepreneur, you learn how to adapt to that change, but also learn how to monetize it. And one of the things that I'm really, really excited about is the opportunity of becoming a network marketing professional. And I think the media is undervaluing and really undercovering what this industry really provides. I'm starting to see it in some media outlets, even national television. There's really some interviews and stuff, but it's just sort of at the ground floor, and they're just starting to recognize what's going on. And there's a tide that's happening. And I think that if you're really looking to cover some news that people would really be interested in, let's give them some hope. Let's show them some examples of entrepreneurship where people went from broke to self-employed, or jobless to self-employed, or laid off, fired to self-employed, to creating a lifestyle of their own. And even in a down economy, there is tremendous opportunity. I see opportunity everywhere because I'm now in that entrepreneurial groove, and I've got to walk away from things all the time because I'm focused and I'm doing my thing. So, I guess to keep this video from going too long was, I think that there's something happening from an entrepreneurial, in particularly from a home-based business, creating your own enterprise from home. I think that there's a real shift going on, and it's not just my generation, Generation X. I think Gen Y, and we're seeing it with the baby boomers. It's all these generations. There's a movement happening, and it's happening at the home level. There's no buildings. There's no bricks and mortar. There's no overhead. It's a low investment to get into. It's your time. It meets your lifestyle. It meets your family needs. And I think that, in particular, even stay-at-home moms, people moving into retirement, people like myself who've been displaced into the corporate world, who are creating their own futures. And, I'd love to see a little more of that, even in particular here in the Maritimes, covering the home-based business, entrepreneurship, kind of what's going on out there. And so anyways, that was just a little video. I just thought I'd shoot you a quick video and kind of throw that on the table and see whether you find that interesting. And again, for all my viewers, the Gen X viewers, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a little inspired by it, because the new year is coming, and it's time to look at your options. Even as a plan B, start your own business. That's what I did. I ran my own business from home for many, many years, just as a part-time thing. It was great income tax benefits, making a little extra money, and I still worked in the corporate world full-time. But when the corporate world ended, I just moved as a full-time career, and then even since then, I've started a couple other businesses. So, so anyways, that was just something I want to throw out. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on the next show. Take care. See you soon.